Welcome to writingalong.com. Let there be light, right? Because as I'm recording this, it got a little darker. So, and if you're listening on the audio podcast, which you can check out, I hope you do check it out. Sometimes you don't have time to watch the full video, right? But you can listen along. Today's video is going to be all about know what you're doing. Have a sense of, I tell you about ending your stories, but in general, have a sense of direction with your writing and know what you're accomplishing when you do it. There's a case to be made for just kind of going blindly at something. But there comes to a point where you're just hitting a wall and you're not really establishing anything at all. With YouTube videos or anything at all, like producing content, such as you're providing some kind of value to people. That's why I'm making this stuff. It's really just in my head. I know I want to provide value as far as writing and just kind of be the resource that I didn't have when I was starting out. And writing means that much to me. It brings that much joy that I'd love to share it with others. The stuff that you're not really hearing elsewhere. And that's why I'm doing this, right? And so with your writing is kind of the same way. You want to know why you're even doing it. Otherwise, you're going to lose motivation fast. You're going to crash and burn. You're just going to be like all the other people who I thought about it and never really made it into anything for themselves. Making it in writing isn't necessarily hitting a bestseller list. Who cares? You read some of that stuff on the bestseller list? You don't want to be it. It's not really that appealing when you really look into it. What you want to be is someone who communicates their thoughts authentically through words on the page, because your own voice is incredibly unique already. You don't have to struggle to make it like that. You just have to kind of learn how to tune into it. And that's all that gets taught here. And when you know what you're doing, and you don't even have to know how sometimes. You're going at it, and there's a reason behind it. There's magic in that. There's power in that. There's something that you can't compare it to anything else. And I really think as a writer, know at least just one reason why you're doing it. There's a list that never ends. You can spend the rest of your life making a list of it, and it'll never end. Just pick one. It'll change, it'll grow, it'll evolve, it'll move into something, or maybe it won't. That'd be cool, wouldn't it? Either way, it doesn't matter. It's just, I'm telling you, once you have, this is why I'm doing it. This is what I'm doing. I'm not just looking at cool symbols on paper. I'm communicating an entire world. I'm creating a harmonization of the world around me, and I'm imparting life onto a blank piece of paper, and I'm multiplying that into other books, into other distribution channels all over the world, all over your country, all over your town, whatever life or context you find yourself in. And I'm expressing ideas clearly, powerfully, you could even say dangerously, because it can't really be controlled or censored by anybody or any government or higher power, that kind of stuff. When you realize you're doing something like that, you're going to keep coming at it. You're not going to really lose touch with coming to the page, because there's a reason. It's something significant. It's something large. And when you know what you're doing, it's almost always something larger than yourself, contributing beyond yourself. Have you ever been in a place where you feel like you are not contributing to anything? I mean, you might even want to. I think you will want to have a place where you feel like you're doing something, you're getting something done, you're valued, you're respected. Not even respected just because you're chasing esteem, or you're commanding it before you're demanding it before you command it, that kind of stuff. No, I just mean you're going upstream. The river's going this way, you're swimming that way. That way is going to flood a town, like it's that kind of stuff. And you find yourself in those places. It's mind numbing. It's aching sensation of, what am I doing here? I don't want to continue doing this. And you become miserable. People find themselves in this position in their jobs and their careers, even if you have a career now you really like. At some point in your life, you probably have found yourself somewhere like that. Well, let's say you're sitting to the younger audience, right? You may be sitting in school, K-12 or whatever your country's education system has, or you're in higher education, right? Something like that. And you're just sitting through these classes, and you just really feel like you don't really have a voice there. It's just kind of, what is this stuff for again? Is it really building me up? Is it even focused on me? Is it just stealing money out of my pockets? Especially, if you're paying for your own education, that kind of stuff. And you know the difference. There's a stark contrast between something where you are making a contribution and you're not, whether you want to or not. You want to. Writing is the place where you always can do that. And it's not just for yourself. Otherwise, you'd just be doing some journaling, right? And that's okay. That's cool. Journaling is a great way to develop yourself as a writer. I like journaling. I have a whole video on it. Journaling versus creative writing. But producing something outward for other people, that is a form of contribution that is huge, humongous. That's why it's so fulfilling, and that's why I'm such an advocate over bringing to life that skill, that ability, as many people as I can reach. I don't know. I hope that you would realize writing isn't just this little hobby you'll take up and just do whatever the hell with it. No, it's something that you can go all the way with. It's something you can go for the long haul with. It's not gonna bail out on you. It's not gonna flake on you. It's not gonna stop working. It's one of the only consistent things that you can hold on to and grab onto in life. And you're not grabbing it with your hands, you're grabbing it with your mind, which is even better. That kind of grip is harder to lose. Hell, even if you lose your mind in your older age, you're still going to have your writing speaking for you. You already grabbed onto it. It's like you froze time. You preserved it and you distributed it, and it's just out there. You gave yourself life. You expanded yourself. You grew wings. You became free through your writing. That kind of experience is flying. It's what humans have dreamed of. It's what humans have done for as much as recorded human history says. It's funny because the day human recorded history started is the day writing started, right? Because first piece of writing wasn't necessarily a comprehensive history on ancient and all civilization on Earth. It was just someone writing, just talking, just telling about things in symbols etched into something. A page or I bring a joke about this sometimes. But they had screens back then, and I'm sure one of those cave people had an iPad, right? Or some kind of, I don't care what crazy theories you have. Writing's been around. I don't think it's limited to our human species. Is it worth a discussion, thinking about what does writing look like outside of our life? Maybe it's interesting to think about, but right now, you don't get stuck there. Because again, it's getting caught up in the around writing. You're not actually entering it. You might be there out of fear, because you don't know what it can mean for you if you were actually able to write your thoughts. What would that look like if you can communicate all of those complex, cloudy, just foggy ideas that you can't shine any light on them. You don't know how to really grip them and make them into something that other people understand. What would your life look like if you can do that? If you can talk clearly, if you could communicate all of that into something that is accessible, into something that is clear, something that is understood. What kind of things do you have to say to the world? What kind of things would you have to say given the opportunity if you haven't had it before? It's really something that is accessible to you right now, and you have to make a choice on why you're doing it. And to do that, you got to know what you're doing. What you're doing is something, like I said, something huge, something large, something beyond. It could be infinite, I don't know. Do you think there's a finite place that you eventually reach if you venture out far enough in your mind? Or you want to talk about spatial dimensions, if you're going to hit a wall one day, who knows, who cares? It looks infinite. That's what writing is right now. It's probably the largest and most significant thing you'll ever know. You can tap into it, you can explore every part of it, every corner of it with writing. This is kind of very similar to the episode I have called The Big Picture, but it's expanding a bit on this topic because it's that important. It's why you're going to keep writing. When you have that reason for yourself, it may look a little different than someone else's. I hope it does. I really hope the reason you write is different than mine. I hope it's different than everyone else's, because it will be, even just in little nuances. And you want to embrace that and know what you're doing. Again, you're not just putting cool little symbols on a page. Otherwise, what are you doing? You're just random generation of this here, this here. Maybe even that has a purpose. Maybe even that is conveying some kind of chaotic semblance of your own conscientiousness. Not consciousness, conscientiousness. You know, your own, what you care about, what you're thinking about through words. You can be doing something crazy, something different, or something like everyone else, but you know what you're doing. You can go all the way with it. You will go all the way with it. You won't tire out. You're not going to be running and grow weary, and it's over. I stopped before I ever reached the finish line. With writing, you create your own finish lines and you pass them every time. It's that kind of satisfaction. It's that kind of life. A writer's life is something that no one can take from you. It's something that you create for yourself, that you make for yourself. And if you really can understand that for yourself, for you, not me, for you, writing is gonna be with you your whole life. Like I said, it's gonna be there for the long haul. You can write a book, you can write whatever you want. Check out this guide, How to Write a Book in 30 Days, on my website. Send it to your inbox, let it haunt your inbox. And like I said, what would your life look like if you can say everything you wanted to say through words, if you can write them down, if you can get them out there? What would it look like? And then you know what you're doing. You know why you're writing. Know what you're doing.